Okay, let's start. We want to look at GST 105, History and Philosophy of Science, Module 1, Unit 1. Okay, for all the students of National Open University of Nigeria. What are we going to be looking at in this class? We'll be looking at the nature of science. We'll be looking at the scientific method. We'll be looking at basic scientific theories, laws of nature, history of Western science, uh, part one, origin of Western science in ancient times. So these are the five units we have in module one, but we are looking at the unit one to start with the nature of science. Okay, what is the definition of science? The word science is derived from the Latin word scientia, which means knowledge, right? Knowledge. So science is associated with knowledge. Okay, either you are studying existing body of knowledge or you are adding, contributing. That's the word they use. Contributing to the existing body of knowledge. Okay, science is generally regarded in three main ways. Number one, body of knowledge, the method for acquiring knowledge or studying and understanding the world, and an institution. Please, this is examinable. Three ways of regarding science. You regard science as a body of knowledge. So as a body of knowledge, look at just picture the sea. Okay, look at the Atlantic Ocean. That is, a body of water. So imagine the diverse animals, the diverse plants, the diverse waters, chemicals, nutrients you have in the sea. So that is also the way science is, a body of knowledge. So you have chemistry, you have biology, you have physics, mathematics, microbiology, pharmacy, medicine, and so on, coming together as a complex system, a complex body of knowledge called science. Science can also can be seen as a method for acquiring knowledge, right? You want to be able to know how things work, right? You want to acquire knowledge. Look at planes, for example. How did we create planes? All right. It was done by studying birds. Scientists, researchers acquire knowledge about how birds fly, and that's how they were able to come about with the creation of planes. All right, those long vehicles, those long trailers, how are they created? People study snakes. All right. Today we have night vision goggles that are used in the military. How did they create that? They created that by studying animals that could see very well in the night, insects that could see in the night clearly. So we acquire knowledge through science. So science has well-known procedures for obtaining knowledge. All right. We use observation, problem hypothesis, formulation, experimentation, conclusion, theory formulation, and so on, to be able to arrive at knowledge. Say this is the law of this is how this works, this is how this will work. So science is a method for acquiring knowledge. Science as an institution. As an institution, you have millions of experts in the field of science all over the world. These experts engage in the study and development of human knowledge, various areas of knowledge in science. Formal science utilizes concepts, rules, and theories. Please take note of these three that are emphasized at in bold. Formal science utilizes concepts, rules, and theories and expresses them in quantitative and statistical manner. Right? Scientists love to give demonstration, presentation of their knowledge in quantitative form. in statistical form, in graphical form, in models. All right. So let's look at this exercise. I'm sure you should be able to answer this easily now. You should be able to list the three main ways in which science is viewed. All right. If you cannot answer this question, I would advise that you pause the video and you go back and go over it again till you understand. You can actually list those three main ways, which are very simple. All right. Then number two question, formal science utilizes A, B, and C to gain knowledge of nature. Remember I said those three words that were written in bold, you should take note of it. Okay, so you might want to go back, pause and go back to the video and see whether you can answer those that question number two. All right. The tools that science uses or utilizes to gain knowledge of nature. So let's look at branches of science. All right, in your course notes, all right, there are basically two ways you can group scientific discipline. It's either you group them as formal science or empirical science, or you group them, okay, as natural science or social sciences. All right, I think that is very straightforward. All right, so first, formal science and empirical science. So formal science includes mathematics, logic, theoretical physics, and statistics. Formal sciences have a formal and deductive character. Science is said to be formal if its content, arguments, and procedures obey certain rules. For example, in mathematics, we're talking about Pythagoras theorem. All right. So there are rules that theories in maths, in physics, in statistics follow. And as long as those contents obey those rules, then we say it is formal science. Let's take note of the examples of formal sciences: theoretical physics, logic, statistics, and mathematics. All right. The results and conclusions of such sciences are valid and authentic only if they conform to those rules. Then you have empirical sciences like physics, like chemistry, like biology, like psychology, like botany, like zoology, like biochemistry, microbiology, geology, medical sciences. Now, these empirical sciences study objects and phenomena that can be observed through the five senses or through or tested with scientific instruments such as telescope, microscope, ruler, tapes, and scales. So if you cannot see it, if you cannot observe it, all right, it doesn't exist according to empirical science. If you cannot test it with scientific tools like a microscope, like a telescope, then it doesn't hold. So empirical sciences are sciences that are based on observation and scientific tools. All right. So then empirical scientists observe and experiment in order to find out how things originate, grow or develop, function, and relate to each other. They also try to find out the laws which govern their behavior. They are interested in regularities or laws which enable them to understand and or explain the object or phenomena on their study. So you will see both empirical and formal sciences actually, it's basically about laws. It's basically about certain rules that must be established. Okay, but basically empirical sciences rely more, okay, on what is seen, on the physical, what is seen and what can be tested. Okay, formal sciences might operate in the realm of abstracts so far it can be proven, all right, like theoretical physics. Okay, so far it can be proven, so far it obeys certain rules, then we can call it formal sciences. All right, we can also look at science from natural sciences and social sciences perspectives. All right, I'm sure we are more familiar with this. So natural sciences deal with natural objects like physical sciences, physics, chemistry, geology, applied maths, astronomy. They deal with physical and inanimate objects. All right, biological sciences include biology, zoology, botany, microbiology. So these deal with living bodies such as human beings, animals, insects, and plants. Then you have medical sciences, of course, which include medicine, general medicine, anatomy, surgery, physiology, and veterinary medicine. Vet medicine is the uh, medical care of animals. All right. Then you have pharmaceutical sciences, which include pharmaceutics, pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacognosy, and pharmacology. So these are examples of natural sciences. All right. Then you have social sciences, which basically deals with human beings and their interactions with the society. Okay, at large. So you have economics, you have social psychology, you have geography, you have sociology and anthropology, you have social philosophy. So these deal with society and social situations, right? And this area of science is also they're very, very important. Why do people behave the way they do? Why do people act the way they do? All right. What is the impact of family? What is the impact of institutions upon individuals? What is the impact of environment upon individuals? All right. How to run organizations and the rest of them. You will find all that knowledge under social sciences. Okay. So we look at the second exercise. You should be able to pick the correct answer here. An example of a formal science, right, is medicine, economics, biology, and mathematics. So A, B, C, or D. So what do you think is the correct answer here? All right, I know the answer, but I will not mention it. I want you to be able to pick the answer yourself. So if you cannot get it, you need to go back to the video and confirm what the answer should be. The number two, objects which can be perceived by the senses include human body, goods, weather, all of the above. So what do you think it should be the answer here? Objects that can be perceived by the human senses. Which of the four options should it be? All right, so you can pick your answer. If you are not sure, pause the video and go back, and you should be able to answer it easily. Aims of science. Science aims at enabling man to explain how the world, events, and objects around him originate, develop, operate, or function. A scientist is a very curious individual. He wants to know why, he wants to know how, he wants to know where, he wants to know when, he wants to be able to know the past. That's why you see people studying fossils. You want to be able to know what is happening now. You want to be able to predict the future. So it helps the scientists to predict how they will behave in the future, and thus enables him or her to control the behavior of the things around him or her once he's able to develop the appropriate instruments for such control. So you see, having studied nature, past, present, and even future, you see countries being able to simulate uh, environments that are suitable for agriculture. Okay, so you see countries like US, you see countries like Israel, especially Israel that does not really have too much of friendly uh, environment for agriculture, but through science they'll be able to simulate environment that that is ideal, okay, for different kinds of agricultural produce, and that is why today they are doing very well, through their ability to control the world, control their environment. Okay, I think I read some time ago, uh, China created an artificial sun. Imagine that. Okay, so you see people now landing on the moon, landing on Mars, have these satellite stations, right there in space. these are the aims of science. Difference between science and non-science disciplines. Among those things called non-science are religion, arts, metaphysics, mysticism, common sense, imagination. Non-sciences are said to be subjective, unverifiable, non-factual, not objective, not systematic, not quantifiable. You can't measure it. All right, people are saying people are disappearing and Bermuda Triangle. There are movements here and there. Can you prove it? What is the law that actually makes people disappear at the Bermuda Triangle? All right, as long as you can't tell the scientists that law, you can't prove the law. The scientist does not believe. All right, until he or she could get an an explanation. So non-sciences could be subjective, right? In that they are not objective, they cannot be independently verified, they are unverifiable, they are not factual, they are not objective, they are not systematic in that they don't follow rules, they don't follow procedures, they cannot be measured. All right. Study of non-science disciplines is often a matter of trial and error. Consequently, knowledge based on them does not enable us to explain, predict, and control phenomena in the way scientific knowledge can. Science, on the other hand, is not dogmatic. All right. Somebody say this is the way. Tell me why it is the way. That's what the scientists will ask. If you cannot tell the scientists why that is correct, then good luck. So it's not dogmatic, it's based on reason. All right. It does not accept any idea of faith or on trust. Okay, it subjects everything under his study to critical examination. It does not accept anything as sacred and unquestionable. It relies on the principle that the universe is governed by material law, which may be mechanical, which may be electrical, which may be chemical, which may be biological. So if you cannot tell the scientist the law that event is obeyed, then the scientist does not believe you as that the law is valid. Science seeks knowledge that is objective, that is certain, that is systematic, that is provable, that is supported by evidence. This is done through a systematic method of observation, formulation of hypotheses, experimentation, organized theory construction. It further overcomes the limitations of the senses through the use of instruments. So our hearing aid, our sense aid, sense of touch, and the rest, okay, might actually limit us sometimes. So we use instruments like microscopes, like telescopes, diagrams, equations, formal symbols to be able to get verifiable evidence. So that is basically the key differences between science and non-science disciplines. So as we round up, I want you to look at the exercise. Non-science disciplines include A, B, C. Can you list 3 out of the several examples we listed earlier? If you cannot, you have to pause the video and go back and ensure you can actually answer those questions. All right. Then number 2, list 3 characteristics of non-science disciplines. All right. Will you answer that question also? You should be able to do that easily if you are listening very well to this video. If you cannot answer the 3 characteristics of non-science discipline, that means you should go back and review the video again. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please try and do so because I will be uploading more videos for the students of the Open University. Thank you.